it was something to do. I'm living out in LA. I drive a sports car just to prove I'm a real big
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Homewood Field on the campus of Johns Hopkins University for the 2017 Centennial Conference Men's Soccer Championship. Today's championship game is between the Red Devils of Dickinson College and the Diplomats of Franklin and Marshall College. The officials for today's game are Matthew Richardson, Peter Manikowski, Patrick Slane, and Chris Sheave. And now for the starting lineups. First for the Red Devils. A senior defender from Trenton, New Jersey.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen,
Austin
and welcome
Summers.
to Johns Hopkins University's
A
Homewood
sophomore
Field.
midfielder from Boxford, Massachusetts.
2017
Kevin
Centennial
Gilbert.
Conference Men's Soccer Championships,
forward
returning to
from
Homewood
Warrenton,
Field for
Virginia,
the
number
sixth
8,
time
Ward
since the tournament
Vanderwater.
debuted in 2001.
A senior
Then we've got a
midfielder
good one
from
for you here
Shanksville,
today.
Pennsylvania,
Fifth
number
seeded
9,
Dickinson,
Brian
second
Brown.
seeded Franklin and Marshall will
A
battle
senior midfielder
for the
from
automatic
Lexington,
qualifier to
Massachusetts,
the
number
upcoming
10, Matt
NCAA
Edmonds.
tournament. Welcome again.
A senior defender
One of
from
4
Tampa, Florida,
championships
number
taking
11,
place
Maxon
on the
Pritchard.
Homewood campus this weekend. Centennial
A freshman
Conference
defender
relocating
from
its office
Lewisburg,
to Homewood.
Pennsylvania, number 12,
Earlier
Will
today,
Brock.
Franklin and Marshall claimed the Field
A
Hockey
senior midfielder
Championship
from
with a
Salem,
2-1 win over
Virginia,
Johns
number
Hopkins.
16, Chris
Just as
Pollock.
we're starting here at Homewood,
A
the
sophomore
Johns
midfielder
Hopkins
from Burlington,
Swarthmore
Vermont,
volleyball
17,
matchup for the
Brendan
conference
McGovern.
championship. And right after this
A
men's
senior
soccer matchup,
midfielder
we'll
from
have
Frederick,
women's
Maryland, number
soccer
20,
on Hop
Austin
TV
James.
and the Centennial Conference Digital Network,
A
as
sophomore
Johns
goalkeeper
Hopkins
from
will
Southport,
host
Connecticut,
Swarthmore
number
in
1,
that title
Fred
game as
Meager.
well. But right now we've got Dickinson and
Dickinson
Franklin
is
and
coached
Marshall
by
battling
Brian Redding and
for the
assisted by
Centennial
Steve
Conference
Grove
title.
and Seth Stover.
Both teams advanced after wins on
And now
Friday.
starting for the
F&M
Diplomats.
topped Gettysburg 1-0 in the second
A senior
semifinals.
defender
Dickinson
from Sinking
advanced
Spring,
past
Pennsylvania, number
top-seeded Johns
3,
Hopkins.
Wyatt Fabian.
Officially a 2-2 tie. The Red
A
Devils
senior
advancing
defender
with a
from
4-2
Tabernacle, New
win
Jersey,
in
number
penalty
5, Zach
kicks.
Colton.
So a lot on the line here
A
today as
senior
both
midfielder
teams
from
battle, of
Pennington, New
course,
Jersey,
for the
number
championship
7,
trophy,
Paul
but also the
McWhirter.
automatic qualifier. And we'll get into a little
A
bit
senior
about
forward from
hopes for
Freehold, New
at-large
Jersey,
bids to
number
the
9,
NCAA
Jason
tournament for not
Canelli.
just these two teams, but other teams
A senior
in
defender
the
from
Centennial
Coto de
Conference.
Casa,
Johns
California,
Hopkins and
number
Gettysburg
13,
both
Ben
very much
Draheim.
alive in the race for automatic
A junior
or
midfielder
at-large
from
bids
Westchester,
to the
Pennsylvania, number
NCAA
14,
tournament as
Ryan
well.
Fincher.
Introducing the starters here
A junior
at
midfielder
Homewood
from
Field.
Devon,
Again,
Pennsylvania,
Dickinson
number 16,
now playing
Cole
its
Nigan-
third game in 6 days. The Red Devils were the
A
5
senior
seed in
forward
this
from
year's
South
tournament.
Berwick,
Went
Maine,
on the
number
road and
21,
topped
Steven
Haverford, the
Shergon.
2-time defending conference champions,
A
5-0
sophomore
on
defender from
Tuesday
Bennington,
afternoon.
Connecticut,
A
number
very
23,
impressive
Ryan
victory
Core.
for head coach Brian Redding's
A
team.
sophomore
Again, the
defender
Devils
from
then
Upper Saddle
came to
River, New
Homewood
Jersey,
Field
number 28, Max
and topped
Goiter.
top-seeded Johns Hopkins.
A sophomore
2-2
goalkeeper from
tie,
Greenlawn, New
4-2
York,
on
number
penalty
00,
kicks. It was just a
Christopher
week
Amoruso.
earlier that Dickinson had ended the regular season here at
Franklin and
Homewood with
Marshall
a
is coached
3-0
by Dan
loss to
Wagner
those very
and
same
assisted
Blue
by
Jays.
Jeremy
So again,
Kirchner and
a
Donnie
quick
Steinberg.
turnaround, and Dickinson is on a roll right now as they head into the championship game. Again, the
Ladies and
starters
gentlemen,
are
please join our
being
players and
introduced
coaches
right
in
now.
honoring America.
We're going to turn it over right now
Let us
for
rise
the
as one
playing
nation
of the
and one
national
people
anthem.
for the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome back to Homewood Field, everyone, on the campus of Johns Hopkins University 2017 Centennial Conference Men's Soccer Championship. Let's take a look at today's starting lineups. First, for fifth-seeded Dickinson in goal, we'll have Frederick Marr. Working from the goal out on defense, Austin Summers. We'll be joined back there by Maxon Pritchard, Will Brock. Also up to the midfield, number 6, Kevin Gilbert. Number 9, Ryan Brown. Number 10, Matthew Edmonds. Number 16, Chris Pollock. Number 17, Brendan McGovern. And playing up top at forward, number 8, Ward Vanderwater. For Franklin and Marshall, again, the number 2 seed under head coach Dan Wagner. Diplomats come in. They'll start in goal, Christopher Amoroso. Working from that goalie spot forward. On defense, number 3, Wyatt Fabian. Number 5, Zach Colton. Number 13, Ben Dreheim. Number 23, Ryan Core. And number 28, Max Goiter. In the midfield, number 7, Paul McWhirter. Number 14, Ryan Fincher. And number 16, Cole Nigeman. At forward, we'll have number 9, Jason Tonelli. We'll talk a little bit more about him later. Played a big role in the earlier Franklin and Marshall Dickinson game. And then number 21, Stephen Sherbon. Mentioned earlier this year, Dickinson and Franklin and Marshall met during the regular season. It was F&M taking a 2-1 decision against Dickinson. In that game, it was number 9, the aforementioned Jason Tonelli, who scored both Diplomat goals, bookended a Dickinson goal. Tonelli opened the scoring just 3 minutes into the action to give F&M a 1-0 lead. That 1-0 lead held for about 27 minutes. Matt Edmonds tied it up in the 31st minute, and then it was Tonelli netting the game winner in the 88th minute to give F&M the 2-1 victory. So we're getting ready to get going here from Homewood Field. Hope you're somewhere dry if you're not joining us here in person. It's been a gray, wet day. Again, we've already had one championship decided here at Homewood. Earlier today, it was Franklin and Marshall picking up a 2-1 win over Johns Hopkins in the Centennial Conference Field Hockey Championship. So this is the second of 4 titles to be decided at Johns Hopkins today. Right now, simultaneously, we have the volleyball championship going on, Hopkins and Swarthmore, and right after this, we'll have Hopkins and Swarthmore in women's soccer. But right now, we look for a great game between Dickinson and F&M. So F&M starts off with the ball, immediately sends it over the end line, and Dickinson will have a goal kick. Red Devils, one of the traditional participants in this championship. Dickinson making its 7th straight appearance in the tournament, all under head coach Brian Redding. Dickinson won the 2011 title actually right here at Homewood, beat Haverford on penalty kicks to claim their only championship title. Red Devils have been in the title game 4 previous times, 0-1 and 3. I'm sorry, 0-3 and 1 officially, with the win over Haverford coming on PKs. That, of course, officially a tie. So ball in the middle of the field here, back and forth. And F&M with control plays it outside. Just getting started here at Homewood Field. Still just clicking over 1 minute in. Got our first foul of the game. F&M will have a free kick. Diplomats under head coach Dan Wagner. 9th straight appearance in the tournament. 2nd longest active streak, actually. Johns Hopkins has made 16, but the Diplomats here in the title game under Wagner for the 4th time, 5th time overall, 4th time under Wagner. F&M with a driven ball. There's a header wide off the driven ball. Again, welcome back to Homewood Field. On the campus of Johns Hopkins, you're watching Dickinson and Franklin and Marshall playing in the 2017 Centennial Conference Men's Soccer Championship game. Well, I don't know. Test, 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 test. Hoping everybody can hear us out there. Having a little bit of audio difficulties. Not sure if I'm coming through okay. Let me give it one more try here. We're going to leave our crowd mic up so you can follow the action along here on Hop TV, part of the Centennial Conference Digital Network. We're in the 4th minute. Dickinson and F&M still tied at 0. A lot of play in the midfield here thus far. Teams feeling each other out. It's been a while since they played each other. That game earlier this season took place late in September. That, of course, a 2-1 win for Franklin and Marshall. That game at F&M. Jason Tonelli with a pair of goals to lead F&M to that victory. Myself loud and clear. Testing 1 2. Okay, now we're coming through. Sorry about that. Apparently we had some audio issues. Hopefully you're all hearing us now. We are early in the Centennial Conference Championship game. Dickinson and F&M. First shot of the game there for Dickinson, number 6. Kevin Gilbert swallowed up by Christopher Amoroso. We are in the 6th minute. F&M and Dickinson tied 0-0. Again, earlier, apologize if I repeat myself here. Some of you may not have heard. We were having some audio issues. Second meeting of the year between these two teams. F&M and Dickinson played to a 2-1 F&M victory earlier this season. It was Jason Tonelli with a pair of goals for the Diplomats to lead the way to the victory. He scored in the 3rd minute and then again in the 88th minute to provide that victory for F&M. F&M again comes in as the number 2 seed in this year's tournament, looking for its 2nd all-time Centennial Conference title. Diplomats beat Dickinson 2-1 in overtime for their only other championship. Same 2 coaches on the sideline that day. It was F&M's Dan Wagner and Dickinson's Brian Redding. So still feeling each other out. Again, it's been about 6 weeks, 5 weeks since these two teams met. Both now playing for the Centennial Conference Championship and the league's automatic qualifier. This is Gilbert shooting one from about 25 yards right over the crossbar. Amoroso was on it, but he really got a hold of that one. Sent it just through the uprights here at Homewood Field. This is also where the Blue Jays play football. Shots now, Dickinson 2, F&M 1. Amoroso with that one early save as we are just getting rolling here. Long ball played by F&M through. There's Tonelli running on, but Marr comes out to take away the dangerous opportunity. Ball skipping a little bit today. It's a wet field here at Homewood. It started raining last night during the Centennial Conference women's soccer semifinal between Haverford and Swarthmore. And that was probably around 8 o'clock that rain drifted in here. And it rained pretty continuously through the night. It's been misting, drizzling all day here. So it's a slick field. And while it is turf, it's not grass. It won't get muddy, but that ball will skip. And low shots are going to present challenges, and balls can get through easily in these conditions. So Dickinson plays it up. Misplayed by the defender now. Here comes Vanderwater carrying it through. Strikes his way through the midfield. Defended nicely there. And Nigaman. Dickinson plays it wide, coming in from the wing. Pollock tries to find space. Driven in. F&M clears. Could have been dangerous there as Gilbert was working his way on the right side of the box, but he was defended nicely there by F&M, and we'll have our first corner of the game. This one for Dickinson. Seems to be getting darker here at Homewood Field. Lights on already. Lights were on all throughout the Field Hockey Championship game. This will be Matt Edmonds taking this corner kick for the Red Devils. Dickinson, a very tall team. They've got some guys that can get up. We'll see how F&M defends this. Amoroso's got 3 defenders near him in the goal, marking up individually in the box. A low-driven ball. That's trouble. It gets through. And Dickinson gets a foot on it. The numbers on the Dickinson Red Devil jersey is a little hard to read, but that got through the box to the far post, a little wide, and it was poked wide by number 11, Maxon Pritchard, who had come up from his spot on defense for Dickinson. So F&M absorbs the first corner of the game for the Red Devils. Again, Dickinson's got some tall guys, and they can create trouble in the box there on those set pieces. Turnover at midfield for F&M after the free kick, after the goal kick. F&M's Matt Goiter now plays it long, trying to find a front runner. Dickinson clears through. Again, any balls in the air, Dickinson really has got some nice size back there. Clear away danger in the air. Little tug of the jersey there. But McWhirter takes on Dickinson, and it goes out of bounds off the Diplomats. So Dickinson with a throw in. Now a turnover, and we'll have another foul, this one against F&M's Cole Nigaman right in the middle of the field there. About 40 yards, 45 yards out from the Dickinson goal. So up near midfield, we'll have a free kick for the Red Devils. This will be Pritchard taking this for Dickinson, sitting nicely on the 40-yard line, drives the ball in, headed away by the Diplomats. And they'll get it cleared off to the wing there. A lot of hand fighting there for possession on the far side. F&M comes up with a loose ball and plays one through to Tonelli. Again, he's a troublemaker there on offense for F&M. Does a nice job getting forward. Scored the 2 goals earlier this season against Dickinson. He's got 11 on the year, 11 goals, no assists. Driven ball in there nicely for F&M. That's Steven Sherbon, who drove it through the box from up near midfield. It was headed away by Dickinson, but now we'll have a corner for F&M. F&M's Ryan Fincher will take this corner. Fincher's got 7 assists on the year for the Diplomats. F&M's got 4 guys back, so Fincher's got 5 to shoot at. F&M gets it. There's a shot blocked. Ben Draheim for F&M had a shot blocked near the top of the box. Still pressuring. Dickinson able to clear it now. Nope, turnover there near midfield. McWhirter working about 20 yards out. Now he's in the box. Got a little pressure on him. There's a cross. There's a little bit of a push from behind for F&M. No call. Nope, there is a call. A little bit of a nudge from behind there as that through ball came from the wing. He was looking for backside help there. And as he nudged the defender, the referee caught him. And it'll be a free kick for Dickinson. Again, we are now in the 13th minute. Dickinson and F&M still tied 0-0 in the 2017 Centennial Conference Championship game. You're watching this action on Hop TV, part of the Centennial Conference digital network. Franklin and Marshall and Dickinson meeting for the second time in the Centennial Conference Championship game. 2013, it was the Diplomats winning 2-1 in overtime to take the title, the only title for head coach Dan Wagner. And that was F&M's, again, only title in school history in the Centennial Conference. Here comes Dickinson. That's Gilbert. Gets in the box. Defended nicely there. Poked away. Gilbert, a strong player with the ball, plays it through. There's a cross. This is Will Brock serving one in. Amoroso handles it easily. Nobody challenging them there on that ball into the box from the wing. Amoroso waits for his defense to clear and then sends it forward. Dickinson now controls, plays it back to Marr in goal. Marr, 6'6", came on the other day. Stopped first 2 penalty kicks against Johns Hopkins in the penalty kick shootout to provide a cushion for the Red Devils, who went on to take that PK shootout 4-2 and send the top-seeded Blue Jays home, which wasn't a far trip, of course. The tournament taking place here at Homewood Field. But Marr was the star the other night after Dickinson took a 1-0 lead early, fell behind 2-1, then tied it, and actually really controlled play maybe for the last 10 to 12 minutes of regulation and throughout overtime. Got to the penalty kick shootout. Marr had the 2 saves, the first 2 shots, first 2 PKs to help lift Dickinson into this championship game here today. There's the goal kick. A loose ball at midfield. They play it through again to Gilbert. Gets through. Amoroso tries to clear it. A little bit of a spinner there. Drifting towards the sideline. F&M is able to clear and they send it forward. Dickinson is always 3-on-2 back there. F&M hasn't really gotten numbers forward yet. Those balls in the air. Dickinson again with some good height. And really able to control the ball in the air against the Diplomats thus far. So F&M building out of the back here. F&M turns it over. Not under pressure. But that was defender Ryan Core who played it. Was intercepted there by Dickinson's Matt Edmonds. Edmonds unable to control it. F&M will have a throw in here right in front of their own bench. And it'll be Matt Goiter here to throw it in for F&M. And Dickinson does a nice job cutting off players behind. He has to go forward with this. He can't play it back. Dickinson takes control, lifts one far. Gilbert gonna chase. Gilbert really putting some pressure on there. F&M forced to clear it, and they kick it out of bounds here, and Dickinson will have a throw in on the far side. Another good chance for the Red Devils there. Under pressure, it was Gilbert again, firing one high. Gilbert pretty active up there. Does a nice job, able to create opportunities under pressure thus far. That one from probably about 25, but he got a good foot on it, just sent it high. F&M with a goal kick here, sends it up to midfield. And we will have another foul against Dickinson. F&M with a free kick. Be right around the 37-yard line. If you're watching on Hop TV, part of the Centennial Conference Digital Network, you know we're playing at Homewood Field, the home of Johns Hopkins football as well. So the field is lined with football lines. And you can easily tell where guys are from. So F&M will have a free kick. They've got 6 guys in the box. A low-driven ball doesn't get through. They'll have another opportunity that's driven far post, and F&M can't control it before it drifts over the end line, so it'll be a Dickinson goal kick. That was Zach Colton on the initial free kick. Blocked by Dickinson, but not controlled. Colton sent it back in. He had 2 guys to the right of Marr, streaking through, but again, the ball's going to skip today, and that ball skipped through over the end line, and Marr will have a free kick, a goal kick. Lots of action in the air here. Dickinson's Matt Edmonds comes up with the ball, and here he goes. Edmonds streaking in. Edmonds just at the top of the box, fires one. Amoroso with a nice save. Edmonds got his left foot on it, really put some pace on that shot, and Amoroso was up to the challenge. Sent it right at him, but Amoroso was positioned nicely. Edmonds came up with the loose ball and did a great job there, putting a probably the best scoring opportunity for the Red Devils, or either team thus far. Now in the 19th minute, Edmonds from about 18 yards, left-footed, Amoroso with the save. Looks like a handball there at midfield. Both guys go down at midfield. Tonelli, one of them, battling with Austin Sumners. Both go down, no call. Ball's played out of bounds here on the near side, right in front of the Dickinson bench, and it'll be a Red Devil throw in. Here's Tonelli in the middle of the field, controlling it. Send up to McWhither, back to McWhither. Surveys what he's got. Plays it to Tonelli with his back to the defense. McWhither now sends a ball in, gets through, but no danger, and Dickinson is able to clear it. Now there's one played long for Gilbert. Gilbert down the wing to Amoroso's right, going to try and take on a defender, and it's defended great. Wyatt Fabian there does a nice job defending. And Gilbert is already proven to be dangerous, but Fabian was up to the challenge there on the wing. Ball sent back out to midfield. We're going to have a late foul on the Fabian clear. Gilbert called for the foul there. F&M with a free kick. F&M sends one in weakly from outside the top of the box. Marr gobbles it up, waits for everyone to clear, sends his team up towards midfield, and he will boot it out of there. So again, we're in the 21st minute, 2017 Centennial Conference Men's Soccer Championship game from Homewood Field. You're watching on Hop TV, part of the Centennial Conference Digital Network. We've got a good one. 0-0, 21st minute. Franklin and Marshall, the number 2 seed. Dickinson Red Devils, the number 5 seed. A close match, certainly, probably in order here. 9 consecutive Centennial Conference Championship games that have been decided by 1 goal or in penalty kicks. 8 one-goal affairs and then a PK victory, actually for Dickinson, right here on Homewood Field against Haverford in the 2011 championship game. So a tight game, certainly in order. There's a drive to the far post, headed away by Dickinson. Under pressure. There was a shot there by Cole Nigaman. It was blocked. F&M starting to turn up the heat a little bit. Playing some nice one-touch ball out there on the wing. Max Goiter now drives a left-footed cross all the way across the face of the goal mouth. It'll drift out of bounds on the far side. F&M there with a little bit of sustained pressure. Dickinson trying to clear and couldn't. Goiter had a nice chance there to cross one, but it got all the way through the box about 8 yards from the end line. Nobody there to poke one home or try and get a head on it. And Dickinson with a throw in on the far side. Paul never went in. So we'll have a turnover there to F&M. It'll be F&M ball.
Now into the
Subs
Diplomats,
in.
number 2, Ryan Horan, and number 6, JT Mogan.
Checking in for F&M, Ryan Horan and JT Mogan. Horan will win on defense. Mogan, a midfielder, freshman from Medford, New Jersey. Horan, a freshman defender as well from Norwell, Massachusetts. So the throw in here for F&M. Marr comes off his line, punches it away, but doesn't clear it. It was more dangerous than it probably ended up, looked more dangerous than it probably ended up being, but he did not come out quick enough to get his hands and grab that ball. And that ended up being dangerous. There's a header back from the far side for F&M's Wyatt Fabian. Marr comes out quickly and gobbles that one up. And he'll wait for everyone to clear before he puts this ball back into play. 23rd minute here at Homewood Field, 0-0. Franklin and Marshall and Dickinson in the 2017 Centennial Conference Championship game. 2 evenly matched teams. It was a 2-1 game earlier this year. We've had 9 straight Centennial Conference title games, again, decided by 1 goal, one of them actually in penalty kicks. So that officially a tie when Dickinson took its title in 2011 against Haverford. but this is a competitive men's soccer conference, an evenly matched men's soccer conference, and some highly ranked teams. So this tournament is could easily be an NCAA regional, and in fact, back in the early years of the Centennial, it wasn't uncommon that the NCAA Mid-Atlantic Regional in men's soccer was Messiah and 3 teams from the Centennial Conference. You had Johns Hopkins, you had Gettysburg, you had Muhlenberg, all among the nation's elite at that time. So when the Centennial Conference gets together in November for its men's soccer tournament, you're looking at some high-quality nationally ranked teams as you have here again. So Dickinson and F&M, the 2 that made it thus far to Championship Sunday, 0-0 now in the 24th, heading into the 25th minute. Still feeling each other out. A couple of good chances for both teams thus far, but both goalies, Amoroso for F&M, Marr for Dickinson, have been up to the challenge. F&M plays one long. We've got a cross that's headed away. F&M really starting to turn up the pressure. Dickinson had a lot of the possession early, but F&M is really starting to come. We've got a cross there. You know they're looking for Tonelli in the box if they can get him. He's got a team-high 11 goals thus far this season. But they're putting pressure on the Red Devils. The Red Devils a little bit more on their heels now. Early on it was flipped. F&M maybe a little bit more on its heels. In the ebb and flow of a men's soccer game, you'll see that. And right now it's the Diplomats who are pressuring. But right now we've got Dickinson with possession, challenging, heading towards the F&M goal, and we've got a foul. We're going to have he's going to get booked. We're going to have our first card of the game. It's going to be a yellow, and it's going to be issued to Dickinson's Kevin Gilbert. A little too aggressive there. It looked like he may have caught F&M defender Cole Neigeman up high as they were battling for possession about 10 yards inside the box, or 10 yards in front of the F&M goal. Just hope Neigeman is okay. Maybe just got caught up high there. Sometimes, you know, when they're battling for possession, they're tugging, and the official will let a little bit go if you're just tugging. But when you bring the elbows up and you start getting in the area of the head, that's where they're gonna book you, and he did. So Gilbert gets a yellow. Neigeman's going to have to come out. Looks like he got hit in the nose. Maybe he's got a bloody nose. Hopefully he's okay. He's able to make it back in. He'll be replaced in the lineup by freshman midfielder Alex Martinez. Martinez, actually a Maryland product from Gaithersburg, Maryland, went to Quince Orchard High School. And he'll step in there while the trainers attend to Neiman over on the F&M bench. So we'll have a free kick here. Fabian will take it for F&M.
On for the Diplomats, number 15, Alex Martinez.
So Gilbert's got a yellow right at the 25-minute mark here in the first half. And obviously you got to be careful. You get a second yellow, obviously you're out for the rest of the game, and then if you are fortunate enough to advance to the NCAA tournament, you'd be out for the next game as well. So he's got to watch himself. But he's the guy that kind of stirs the drink up there for the Red Devils on the front line, and he'll make things happen, and he was a little aggressive there, and they caught him. So F&M now plays it in. That's a nice ball to the far side. We've got a shot. Oh, a great opportunity there for Steven Sherban. And Marr has to dive hard to his right to come up with a diving save. I'm not sure if it was going to actually be. Let's take a look at the replay. Yep, that might have tucked itself right inside the near post if Marr doesn't make that diving save. Great stop there by Marr on Sherban. We'll have a corner here for F&M. And that's Fincher that'll take it. Fincher with the in-swinging drive. Never gets in. Hits the crossbar of the football goal post, actually. So we'll have a goal kick here for the Red Devils. Shots right now, 5-4 in favor of Dickinson. Amoroso with 3 saves, including the great one on Gilbert. I'm sorry, not on Gilbert. Gilbert just got the yellow on Edmonds. Edmonds had a left-footed rocket from about 18, and Amoroso perfectly positioned, turned it away. That was the best opportunity probably so far for the Red Devils among their 5 shots. Dickinson out shooting F&M 5-4. Marr's got that one save, that great one here a moment ago. So Fabian bringing it down the wing on the far side. Gets inside his defender with a cross. Nobody home. But it's played on the far side by Ben Draheim. Draheim gets to the end line, crosses it, cleared away by Dickinson. Fincher controls for F&M, and he'll send it back in, looking far side, header. And it's headed out by F&M. Fabian just couldn't get his foot on it there as he was trying to stay in bounds and send it back towards the middle. But he couldn't do it, so Dickinson will have a goal kick. Marr will put it back into play. Dickinson walks back upfield. F&M retreats on defense. We are now into the 28th minute of the 2017 Centennial Conference Men's Soccer Championship game here at Homewood Field. 0-0. After that goal kick for Dickinson, F&M controls. That's Draheim bringing it forward. He's going to play it forward for Tonelli, who Tonelli had thought he was going to play it short to him, and Draheim played it longer, and ball goes out of bounds. We'll have a throw in here for Dickinson. Ball is controlled by F&M, though. That was Martinez that played it wide. Martinez came in few moments ago. F&M controls. That's Tonelli deep to Marr's right. Takes it along the end line. Taken away, but cross now just over the head of a defender. Ryan Fincher sent it through the box from the near side wing. Nobody home. Goes out of bounds. We'll have another goal kick, and we'll have another sub here. Will Bracken, senior forward from Easton, Connecticut, will check in for the Red Devils.
Now in for the Red Devils, number 7, Will Bracken.
He'll replace Kevin Gilbert, actually, up front for Dickinson. Bracken's played in 13 games, started 1. He's got 3 goals on the year. So he'll see some action now and again. There's a dangerous opportunity. F&M really doing a nice job of possessing. But Dickinson numbers back, and they get it free. Ooh. Edmonds tried to send someone through there and couldn't. Swept away by F&M, and then off Edmonds. It'll be a throw in for F&M here. Ben Draheim with the throw in. Turned over. Dickinson control, but now Dickinson and F&M battling in the middle of the field, and we've got bodies flying all over the place here. We've got Martinez. Martinez and Vandewater in a little bit of a scrap there, battling for the ball in the middle of the field. It will be a Dickinson free kick here, 45 yards out. At the 45-yard line here on the football field as it's marked. They play it short. Played over to the wing to Will Brock. Brock sends one through. Lots of battle in there. F&M's able to get it out. Edmond. Dickinson called for a foul as they were scrapping for that ball, trying to come up with a loose ball as it drifted towards the side of the box. Nobody had possession. I guess there's a little too much tugging on the jersey there. The official whistled Dickinson. And F&M will have a free kick about 10 yards from the end line. It's a good thing for F&M that foul was called. Edmonds had all by himself about the 20-yard line. He had time and room to really survey the field or dribble in and take an opportunity himself. So F&M now with the goal kick, or with the free kick, works it upfield, turns it over. JT Mogan for F&M, battling there for possession. I tell you, these midfielders really get back quick for both teams because there's not a lot of there's not a lot of open transition here for either team thus far. Everything is challenged as it's coming through the middle of the field.
Now in for the Red Devils, number 19.
Dickinson brings in a sub. Colin Fagan, freshman midfielder from Chalfont, Pennsylvania, Central CB South High School. Dickinson plays it through. Amoroso comes through. Couldn't pick it up. He was outside his box, so he just tried to boot it. It was hit one of his own defenders. And now Dickinson controls deep in the zone. Played in from deep. Amoroso easily comes out, controls that, throws it out. Starts the transition to Ben Draheim with a throw in. Draheim turns it over. We've got a foul here. It's getting a little physical out there. These two teams, again, played to a 2-1, tight 2-1 game earlier this year. That game was tied 1-1 for 55 minutes after Dickinson scored in the 31st minute. It wasn't until the 87th minute that Tonelli got the eventual game winner for F&M. So a tight, tense game there, and we've got another one brewing here. Of course, more on the line now. Ward Vandewater will take this free kick here for Dickinson, about the 32-yard line, so 42, about 27-yard line, so 37 yards from the goal. Sends it in to the far post, outside the far post. And that ball is out off of Dickinson, so we'll have another goal kick here for F&M. Correction, that ball was out off Dickinson, but not over the end line. So they give him a throw in to the Diplomats. And they try and work it up the far sideline from the press box here at Homewood. Ball batted around in the air. Edmonds controls ultimately. He tries one from deep. That shot was from the 25-yard line, 35 yards out. But it did deflect off an F&M defender on its way through the box, so we'll have an Dickinson corner kick. This will be Edmonds that'll take it. Dickinson sends 5 players forward into the box area. Edmonds will in-swing it with the right foot. Amoroso's getting his defense set. Some jockeying in the box there. Official staring right at it, and he's giving the point now. He's telling them both, knock it off. Each is entitled to their position, but you can't displace an offensive player or a defensive player to gain your position. So Edmonds sends it in. That's trouble. It's headed out of bounds by Dickinson. And we'll have a goal kick for F&M. F&M going to get another fresh body in the game now. This is a junior forward, number 25, Jim Connolly, Wilmington, Delaware. Went to the charter school of Wilmington, and he replaces Ryan Fincher
Jim Connolly
in the midfield for head coach Dan Wagner. F&M on the goal kick, taken away by Dickinson, and taking space is Edmonds, but he turns the ball over, and F&M will turn it back. So now we've got some little more space available here as things have opened up just a bit on those last 2 possessions. F&M Zach Colton is being challenged there and booted it out of bounds. We'll have a throw in for Dickinson. 35th minute here, 2017 Centennial Conference Men's Soccer Championship game from Homewood Field. F&M and Dickinson still tied at 0. And on the throw-in, we've got a foul on Ward Vandewater. He was battling for position as the ball was coming in. Battling a little too strongly as the official determined. F&M will have a free kick here, just inside midfield. It'll be Zach Colton, senior defender from Tabernacle, New Jersey, who will put this one into play. F&M's got all 10 of its field players on this side of the offensive side of midfield. Colton sends it in. He's drifting to the left, and Marr is able to just elevate, put it right in on goal. Marr was able to elevate and just grab it. And when Marr elevates, you're getting up there. Marr, 6'6", and of course that came in handy last week. I'm sorry, 2 nights ago, when he stopped 2 penalty kicks against Johns Hopkins to help the Devils advance to the Centennial Conference Championship game. Again, 5th championship game for Dickinson, 5th for Franklin and Marshall as well. These 2 teams met for the Centennial Conference title in 2013. F&M took a 2-1 decision in overtime that day to claim the only Centennial Conference title in school history. Dickinson's lone title was won right here at Homewood Field 6 years ago, probably right around this date. Topped Haverford in penalties, 3-2. Dickinson now with a throw in on the far side. They flood the box. It's a good throw in there. A lot of grabbing. Amoroso comes out, though, after a soft header. Sends it towards the middle of the box. He grabs it, waits for his defense to clear. Now he'll put it back into play. Amoroso, 5'11" sophomore from Greenlawn, New York. Sends it upfield, but it goes out. So Dickinson will regain possession here with a throw in just in front of their own bench. The Devils put it back in play. A lot of congested areas here. We'll get another throw in for F&M, which will make another sub. Alex Lavalik, a freshman midfielder from Lidditz, Pennsylvania, Warwick High School up there in Lancaster County. Not far from the F&M campus, which sits right there in the heart of Lancaster. Also the location of the Centennial Conference office there. So on that throw-in, we have an F&M foul. Dickinson will put the ball into play with a free kick. This will be Will Brock with a free kick from right in front of his own bench. 38th minute here. Centennial Conference 2017 Centennial Conference Men's Soccer Championship game. And we're still knotted at 0. There's a turnover. And it's Alex Lavalik bringing it forward. Dishes it off to Tonelli. Tonelli cannot control it. It goes up. He didn't control it. Raised his hands to look at Lavalik like, what are you giving me that ball here for? A little disappointed in the way it played out, but the officials read it differently, and they give F&M a corner kick. So we'll have a corner kick here for the Diplomats. There's still some discussion about what's going on. Nope, it is a corner kick for the Diplomats. Jim Connolly will put it in. He'll be an in-swing and left footer from that far corner. F&M with 5 guys in the box here. Connolly, it's a low-driven ball headed away. Connolly's going to control it. He should be able to send it back in, and he does. That was Tonelli, got a head on it, and another header, but really never got close to Marr. Marr chases it all the way out to the side of the box and sends it upfield. It gets through to midfield where F&M controls. This is Connor Whitaker bringing it down the wing. And he sent it through to Fabian, but Fabian couldn't keep it in bounds. So F&M, or Dickinson, will start with a throw in deep in its own defensive third. Shots right now, Dickinson 6, F&M 5. Marr's got 2 saves for the Red Devils, and Amoroso's got 3. Each with a 5-star save, if you will. Amoroso's came first, and then Marr's on a drive that looked like it was ticketed for the inside post to his right. And he got his hands on it. Dickinson now looked like a dangerous spot there coming down that far wing. Just unable to keep the ball in bounds, and F&M will have a throw in about 30 yards from its goal. This is Fabian that will do the honors. Gets it forward. Dickinson is able to send it forward itself. And the Red Devils, after all that, scramble back and forth, able to just work its way out of bounds there. Work with a throw-in that Edmonds takes. F&M forces the turnover its own. We're back and forth. A lot of players on this side of the football hash marks. Some jockeying here. And we're going to have an F&M foul. There was a lot of pushing and shoving there as there had to be about 8 players in a 15-yard span, all on this side of actually the out-of-bounds line for football here at Homewood Field. The official had seen enough, a little too much pushing and shoving, and it'll be Dickinson with a free kick just on its side of midfield. This will be Will Brock, freshman defender from Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, who puts it into play, and it's headed back by Will Bracken. Nobody home. F&M really could have cleared that. Amoroso could have come out and grabbed it, but it was booted over the end line by a Franklin and Marshall defender, and Dickinson's now going to have a dangerous throw in here. This will be Vandewater doing the honors here, and he can get it to the goal. There's no doubt about that. It lands in the goal. In the goal mouth it lands in. Dickinson was able to put up not a strong shot, but it drifted over the crossbar. Really not that. It looked more dangerous on video than it probably was here live. That was Pollock again. got a left foot on it, but ball was bouncing a little too high. Really couldn't hit it flush and put it on frame. So F&M plays it through with a goal kick, and we're back to midfield now with Dickinson possessed. And Edmonds really active here in the first half for Dickinson. Two guys come together. Edmonds and Martinez come together, and we're going to have a yellow, and it's going to go to Edmonds. That's the second yellow of the day against the Devils. That one was really really two guys battling for the ball, and I think when Martinez from Franklin and Marshall fell, he fell very awkwardly, and maybe it looked worse than it was, but you know, it was still a collision, and maybe the official read it where Edmonds was a little too aggressive there as he was challenging, and that's the second yellow of the day for oh yeah, just watching the replay there, you could see it. Got him late. F&M's free kick there from midfield. Drifts all the way out over the end line. Drove that one 60 yards over the end line. That was Zach Colton, senior defender from Tabernacle there for Franklin and Marshall, to Mar's left. And just a little too far out of the reach of Fabian, who had come down from his defensive spot. And here's one to Tonelli. Tonelli finally trying to make something happen there. They've had trouble finding him. Those taller, bigger defenders for Dickinson really doing a nice job. And after he scored twice against them earlier in the year, you got to imagine that he was a focal point of the scouting report for head coach Brian Redding and his team. Let's not let that guy beat us again. Got a dangerous play here. Woo! That one skips just wide. Little miscommunication there by F&M defender Ryan Core and goalie Chris Amoroso. Amoroso came out just a little too late to really secure that ball. And Dickinson was able to just shovel it wide. Really a dangerous play. That was Vandewater, who was able to meet both of them at the ball just inside the box and skipped it free. But now we go back the other way. Tonelli trying to work his way free. Had possession for a second, but Dickinson defender Austin Sumners was able to come through and clear that ball out of danger. F&M again, back on the attack. This is Whitaker. Whitaker sends it out over the end line off a Dickinson defender. I'm sorry, over the sideline for a throw-in. That's Connolly working his way in. One too many touches in traffic, and Dickinson is able to sweep it free. Now we've got some hand fighting going on here up front. Bracken and Fabian really getting at it, and you got two big guys there going at it.
1 minute remaining,
battling for possession 50 yards from the goal. And it's Bracken that's called for the foul. F&M will have a free kick. 10 yards on its side of midfield. We're now in the 45th minute. 45 seconds left here in the first half. 0-0. F&M and Dickinson tied in the 2017 Centennial Conference Men's Soccer Championship game. So there's a ball driven into the box by Zach Colton, headed away harmlessly, headed out of bounds harmlessly off a F&M forward. And Mar will put it back into play with a goal kick. Again, we are 20 seconds away from halftime here. No surprise that this one's tight. It was tight earlier. We've had 9 consecutive Centennial Men's Soccer Championship games that have been one-goal affairs. So if you tuned in thinking you were going to see either team dominate or even high scoring, I think you were probably in for you were probably mistaken, because we've got a good one here. We're at halftime now. 0-0. Franklin and Marshall, second-seeded Diplomats, tied with fifth-seeded Dickinson. Halftime right now. Dickinson leading in shots, 8-5. Amoroso has 3 saves in goal for F&M, and Mar has 2. Each one of them really with a great save. Each team had one real golden opportunity to put one home, and both goalies were up to the challenge. So we're going to take a break here. We got a 15-minute halftime, and we'll be back for the start of the second half shortly.
Centennial Conference, NCAA Division III, and Special Olympics have partnered to improve the lives of Special Olympic athletes. This initiative is focused upon the involvement of Division III student athletes through service and support of the Special Olympics. To learn more about the partnership, go to ncaa.org. There are plenty of ways to get the latest information on what's happening in the Centennial Conference. Get the latest updates sent directly to your phone by following us on Twitter. Sign up for the latest updates by liking us on Facebook, or get inside access on Instagram. Ladies and gentlemen, please treat today's players, coaches, and officials with respect. After all, Johns Hopkins has many traditions, but bad sportsmanship is not one of them. Respect. It's the name of the game. A message brought to you by the Centennial Conference and the NCAA. You can watch every game of the Centennial Conference playoffs on your computer or TV on the Centennial Conference digital network. Watch on your desktop, laptop, tablet, or phone on centennialconference.tv. You can also watch on your big screen TV on our Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, or Android TV channels. Sign on today. The Centennial Conference now has a mobile app to give fans access to score updates, statistics, and game recaps, as well as live links to live video. You can also receive notifications on your favorite sport sent right to your phone. It's available as a free download for your iPhone or Android device. Log on to www.centennial.org/frontrow for more information. Centennial Conference and NCAA Division III student athletes follow their passion and discover potential in the pursuit of academic excellence. They are encouraged to engage in all aspects of collegiate experience while participating in highly competitive athletic programs. Division III student athletes dedicate themselves to become successful citizens and responsible leaders. Division III, discover, develop, dedicate.
Sometimes you bend, sometimes you stay, sometimes you turn your back to the wind. There's a world outside every darkened door, where blues won't haunt you anymore. Where the brave are free and lovers soar. Come ride with me to the distant shore. We throw it back to you. By now, you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Because maybe
Welcome back to Homewood Field. Ernie LaRossa here. 2017 Centennial Conference Men's Soccer Championship game at Homewood Field. Second seeded Franklin and Marshall, fifth seeded Dickinson tied 0-0. Halftime stats for you. Dickinson leads in shots 8-5. Saves are 3-2 in favor of F&M. Chris Amoroso with 3 saves for the Diplomats. And Frederick Marr, 2 saves for Dickinson. There have been 5 corners in the game thus far. Dickinson with 2, F&M with 3. 13 fouls, 8 to Dickinson, 5 to F&M. 2 cards thus far, 2 yellow cards issued. Both went against the Red Devils. Number 6, Kevin Gilbert got 1. And then number 10, Matt Edmonds got 1. Gilbert's in the 26th minute. Edmonds in the 42nd minute. So 2 yellows sitting there on the Red Devils thus far. So we're 45 minutes in. First 45 minutes really solved nothing. We're 0-0 as we head to the second half. F&M looking for its second Centennial Conference Championship. Dickinson looking for the same. Red Devils' only Centennial Conference title was won right here at Homewood Field. They knocked off Haverford in penalties in 2011 to win it, the only Centennial Conference Championship in men's soccer in Dickinson history. F&M got its only title 2 years later, actually beat the Red Devils 2-1 in overtime. F&M making its 5th all-time appearance in the Centennial Conference Championship game, 1-3 all-time. Diplomats lost to Johns Hopkins 2-1 in overtime in 2002. Came back 4 years later, same result, lost to the Blue Jays 2-1 in overtime. Got that elusive title in 2013 when they won 2-1, also in overtime. Last year, the Diplomats made it a 4th trip to the championship game, and you guessed it, final score 2-1, that one in regulation at Haverford. Dickinson again also looking for its second title. Red Devils now in their 5th appearance in the championship game, lost to Hopkins 2-1 in 09, tied Haverford but claimed the title on penalty kicks 3-2 in 2011, lost to F&M 2-1 in overtime in 2013, and then lost to Haverford 1-0 in 2015, and we are back underway here in the second half. 45 minutes from a title, maybe more. 45 minutes, though, would be ideal. 45 minutes maybe from a title for one of these two teams, which would lock up the Centennial Conference's automatic berth in the upcoming NCAA Division III championship. So we've got a rain-soaked crowd here at Homewood Field. Didn't think it was going to be this wet today. Started raining here in Baltimore last night during the Haverford-Swarthmore Centennial Conference Women's Soccer Championship semifinal. That won by Swarthmore 2-1. That was probably 8 o'clock or so, and really the rain has never really stopped. It's not really been a heavy rain like it was last night today, more of a mist, but it's never dried out. You've got umbrellas up. But the F&M and Red Devil faithful are here and looking for a championship for one of their two teams, for their team. So again, we are in the 47th minute of a 0-0 tie in the 2017 Centennial Conference Men's Soccer Championship game. And Dickinson with possession, far side. That's Brock bringing it forward. He's got Edmonds to his right on the wing, plays it to Edmonds. Edmonds brings it back inside. Now plays it back, and Dickinson will build from the back again. That's Sumners, who plays it to the back to the far side, but turns it over. And F&M will possess out of the back again. That's Ryan Core on the far side, playing it forward, but playing it out of bounds. And Dickinson will have a throw in about midfield. That's Brock again. Under heavy pressure, forced to turn back. Good pressure there by the F&M forwards to make Dickinson work and not make it easy for them to get forward. Finally a turnover here. An F&M player goes down, but officials let them play on as F&M had possession. Turned it over quickly. Surprised he didn't give it back to F&M. Really didn't do much with it. Appeared to be ready to call advantage. Did, but it was turned over so quickly. I'm surprised he didn't give it back to F&M, but he didn't. But they get the ball back anyway. Play it forward. That's Wyatt Fabian playing it forward for F&M out of the back, and now Tonelli on the ball, trying to bring it down the side, and they've been all over him. Oh, and he gets tugged from behind. The referee gives advantage, but they're going to bring it all the way back. They're going to bring it all the way back, and they're going to book him. He definitely had a hand on Tonelli's the back of his jersey. He was free. He was free, and he was past Austin Thames, and Thames grabbed him. Referee let him play the advantage, but Thames draws the third yellow of the day for Dickinson. That one in the 48th minute. And now we'll have a free kick here for F&M. This will be Zach Colton, senior defender from Tabernacle, New Jersey, who will put this one into play about 40 yards from the goal. He's got 6 diplomats. He's surveying F&M. He's got 6 guys in there. Dickinson, 8 defenders. Here's Colton's kick. Marr comes off his line. It's sent to the back post. But nobody from F&M there to control it. Fabian was there and couldn't grab possession. Dickinson able to get it out. And they send their defense forward. And now they've got their flat back 4 back in place, ready to defend. Dickinson works it all the way back to Marr, who plays it off to the side to Brock. Brock pushes it inside to Pritchard, who plays it forward. And now Dickinson on the counter. Gilbert was inside the box with possession, really couldn't control a bouncing ball and sent it weakly in on Amoroso, who safely grabs it, waits for everyone to clear, then plays it off with a throw to Fabian. Fabian will play it long. And now F&M possesses. Tonelli battling. They've really done a nice job. Dickinson's really done a nice job on Tonelli. Again, if you weren't with us in the first half, we noted that Tonelli had scored both goals in an earlier 2-1 win for F&M over Dickinson. And Mars forced to boot it out of bounds under pressure. He couldn't pick the ball up because it had been played back to him by his own player. So he's forced to boot it out of bounds. And here's Tonelli. Tonelli down the right side. Crosses it off of a Dickinson defender. Stays in bounds. Now Tonelli with possession. And he earns the throw-in. Tonelli a little bit more active here already in this second half. And this is Ben Draheim who will throw it in for F&M. F&M with only 3 guys in the box right now. Draheim going to put it into play. Nice throw. Marr can't come off his line, but we've got a push-off. That push-off was by Steven Sherman. Referee caught him there in the box. When there's only 3 whites and 6 reds, it's easy to see when the whites do something wrong, and he definitely was posting up and gave him a little shove in the back there to gain advantage, and the referee would have none of it. So Marr will put it in with a free kick. It's turned over, but played all the way back through. Marr the only one back for Dickinson, and he controls it. Now Marr gives it a boot. Good one. All the way inside the 30 on the other side of the field. And now Sherman springs free but isn't able to chase down the loose ball. Dickinson sweeps it out of bounds, but F&M draws a throw on its offensive end. But it's turned over, and Dickinson boots it out of bounds. Much closer to midfield, this throw will come for the Diplomats. So Gilbert now with possession for Dickinson. Maintains possession nicely, sends a through ball. And that's Vanderwater. Vanderwater still with possession, crosses it off of a F&M defender out of bounds, and we'll get a trophy. We'll get a trophy. Sorry, look down and saw the Centennial Conference Championship trophy. One of these 2 teams will walk away with it. He draws a corner kick. He can draw the trophy later if they can put one past Amoroso. But this will be a corner for Dickinson. Dickinson's got a lot of players up, play it short, drifted into the box, and it's a header just wide. Still under control here for Dickinson. Still pressuring. Boots it back to the far post. But just too far, it lands out of bounds. And F&M escapes a little bit of danger there. Vanderwater had possession, had an opportunity. The short corner created some trouble for F&M. It's got a little disjointed, chased the guy out who had taken the short a little late. And that created an odd man situation in the box, but the ball was really never controlled by anybody for the Red Devils, and F&M's able to escape some danger there as we remain deadlocked at 0. 53rd minute here in the Centennial Conference Championship game. One of these 2 teams will claim that trophy and the league's automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. The Centennial Conference may be in line for as many as 3 bids. When the bracket is announced tomorrow afternoon, you can catch that information on ncaa.com. There'll be a live video announcement of the bracket, and I'm sure that you'll be able to check the websites of any of the teams involved to see if they've earned one of those elusive at-large bids. We've got some rough play here in the midfield. A couple of guys go down. No call by the referee. Gives the advantage, and now Dickinson in transition. And that's Gilbert. Gilbert comes out, but Amoroso smothers the shot. Gilbert was free. Got a good poke at it. Amoroso was out far enough to save it. That's the second big save of the day for Amoroso. And in transition now, F&M goes forward. Dickinson player hits the deck, but that was a clean tackle. And here we go. F&M not really with numbers, but trying to create something dangerous. Tonelli gets in the middle of the field, but shoots it off a defender. Harmlessly in on Marr. Marr scoops it up. Tells everybody to get forward. He'll take his time putting this one back in play. There's a little back and forth there. We haven't seen a ton of that. The midfields here for both teams have really cut down on transition. Done a nice job making the opposition build from the back, and that has created a lack of transition. But there was an opportunity in both directions. First it was Gilbert, and Amoroso smothered it, and then F&M appeared to have something. Tonelli got to the middle of the field, but as he tried to play one more touch through. He mistouched it and went in on Marr harmlessly, and Marr started back the other way. So now we're back live here, F&M. With possession, Tonelli again. Tonelli's the guy. If F&M wants to spring somebody, it's Tonelli. Sherman sends it over to the far side, and now F&M has it to Draheim on the wing. Draheim trying to take on a defender, facing him up. Draheim still possessing, but Dickinson is able to clear it. Mishit there by the defender for Dickinson. Sumners sends it all the way to the far side. Couldn't get it forward. Again, that ball's slick today. Bouncing, spinning. It's a wet turf out there at Homewood Field. It's been raining not quite 24 hours, but almost. And it's not grass. Teams that play on grass would have a much tougher time right now, but it's still a mess. Still hard to control a spinning wet ball on this turf. But F&M has it, plays it forward, and then Dickinson boots it the other way, and Amoroso will drift over to his left, and he'll start it out with a throw to the far side. That's Colton. Colton turns it over. This is Gilbert. Gilbert tried to play it through to McGovern. McGovern's pass, the pass to McGovern was clipped by Colbert. The pass drifted in harmlessly on Amoroso. Amoroso plays it up the field. Now F&M still working. And we'll have a throw in here by midfield. 0-0, 56th minute now. It's the 2017 Centennial Conference Championship. Thank you for joining us today on Hop TV, part of the Centennial Conference Digital Network. One of 4 conference championships being decided on the Homewood campus today. Earlier today it was these F&M, the Diplomats, claiming a 2-1 win over host Johns Hopkins to claim the field hockey title. Right now, Johns Hopkins is hosting Swarthmore in the Centennial Conference Volleyball Championship game. That taking place in Goldfarb Gymnasium, probably 50 feet from where we're here at Homewood Field. And now F&M with a chance. Driven ball by Paul McWhirter in, but headed away. F&M now with possession on the wing. That's Draheim. Draheim crosses it, and it's booted out of bounds by Dickinson's Austin Sumners over the end line, and F&M will have another corner kick. So that Centennial Conference volleyball match, Hopkins is up 2-1 and 13-9 in the 4th set. So the Blue Jays need to win just one more set to claim the Centennial Conference title in volleyball. Those two same schools will meet for the women's soccer title here. But right now, Ryan Fincher with a corner kick for F&M. Drives it, gets to the far post, but headed harmlessly down and booted away from any danger by the Dickinson defense. Again, Dickinson's a tall team, and those balls in the air in the box are really troublesome for the opposition to possess. Dickinson's able to use that height advantage to clear some danger there. But the Red Devils play around with it a little bit too much at midfield and turn it over. F&M now on the attack. That's Sherman crossing it. It's headed away by Sumners. Tonelli tried to keep it alive but couldn't control. And now we've got Dickinson possessing at midfield. And that's Gilbert sending it through, but a little bit too far. Edmonds couldn't chase it down. It drifted in to the left of Amoroso. Amoroso chased it out by the football numbers on this field here at Homewood, and starts F&M back in transition. So that volleyball score now 15-10 in the 4th. Blue Jays up 2-1 already, so 10 points away from another Centennial Conference championship under head coach Tim Cole. That would be the Blue Jays' 3rd under Cole and 5th in school history. These two teams, Dickinson and F&M, both looking for the 2nd Centennial Conference men's soccer championship in school history. Dickinson again claimed its only title right here at Homewood, 2011. F&M won the title against Dickinson in 2013. That was a 2-1 overtime decision. So no idea where we'll end up here when the dust settles, but we can tell you that 9 straight Centennial Conference Men's Soccer Championship games have been 1-goal games. Actually 8, and 1 was actually a penalty kick decision. So 8 1-goal games and a game decided on PKs. You knew this one was going to be tight. Close followers of Centennial Conference men's soccer have come to expect well-played, close, tight games in the championship game. And that dates back all the way to 2008 that streak started. So this would be 10 in a row if we get another 1-goal affair here, or one that would perhaps go to PKs. But we've got a long time till we get to that. We're in the 60th minute of a 0-0 tie. Game earlier this year at F&M was 2-1 Diplomats. Tonelli scored both goals for the Diplomats, one in the 3rd minute, and then one in the 87th. And right now we're going to have a foul in a dangerous spot here against Dickinson. F&M's going to get a free kick. It's inside. It's inside the top of the box, but outside to Mar's right. So F&M's going to get a dangerous kick here. Dangerous opportunity that they'll have to put the ball in play. This is Fincher who will put it in. The right-swinging Fincher surveys what he's got. He's got 6 players in the box, 5 players in the box. Fincher puts it in. And Mar punches it, hits off the crossbar. 6'6". I'm not sure why he didn't just grab that, but he punched it and it hit the crossbar and stayed in. And F&M was not able to control in a very dangerous situation there. Fincher put that ball up in the middle of the goal, and Mar had to back up, and he couldn't grab it or he would have fallen into the goal, so he tried to punch it up and it hit the crossbar, came back into play, but Dickinson was able to clear. That was a really dangerous opportunity there for the Diplomats, but Dickinson is able to withstand that, and we're still 0-0 now in the 62nd minute. Dickinson plays it forward, but F&M clears and draws a foul. That one there, F&M appeared to be trying to head the ball away and jumped, and just kind of the Dickinson defender was there, Dickinson offensive player, excuse me, lost his balance. If anything, F&M had the ball, had possession, and was going in the other direction. And while Dickinson may not be happy with the call, it actually slowed the play down. There's a shot by F&M's Ben Draheim. It's blocked, doesn't get through to Mar. Dickinson is able to keep it from going over the end line, and F&M gets a throw-in. We're going to have subs here for both teams. F&M's going to send in Alex Martinez. He played in the first half, and actually was on the wrong end of the collision that Edmonds drew his yellow card on, if you remember that, back in the 42nd minute. And for Dickinson, Colin Fagan, a freshman midfielder from Chalfont, Pennsylvania, returns to the lineup. F&M trying to make something happen here. But a cross from the wing to the right of Mar. Drifts behind the goal. No harm, no damage. And Mar will have a goal kick here. We're now in the 64th minute as the clock ticks past 63 minutes into the 64th minute. And we will have a goal kick here for the Red Devils. So Mar boots it, sends it up to midfield. F&M possesses, tries to play one long. Tonelli in the middle, wondering why he's kind of looking at his defense. Play it my way. I scored twice earlier against these guys this year, and I'd love to have a chance, but he's been blanketed. They've done a nice job on him. He got free a couple times early in this half, but really hasn't done much since. That was probably in about the first 6 to 8 minutes, and we're now into the 64th minute. The defense really has had its eyes on him. On the other side, Gilbert, dangerous player for Dickinson. 13 goals, 5 assists coming in, and You could say the same thing about the F&M defense. These two teams are determined not to let the knowns, the guys that are on the scouting report, beat them, and they're both dialed in. Of course, it helps when you've played a team once, even if it was 5 weeks ago. Still familiar. Gilbert, a sophomore for Dickinson, so he's got 2 more years after this. Tonelli, a senior forward, would love nothing more than to lead his Diplomats into the NCAA tournament. So F&M here with possession, midfield. They get one wide, and they're starting to get some numbers up. They're going to take on the defense here. That's Martinez. He plays it far out to the wide side there to Draheim. Draheim gets taken down in the box. He gets taken down in the box, and the official is going to call. Is he going to call a penalty kick? Draheim got taken down in the box. He got free, got a step on his defender to Mar's left, and the defender took him down. And we're going to have a PK here. We'll see who F&M sends to the line. So we've got a golden opportunity here in the 66th minute for F&M. This will be senior defender Zach Colton, who will take it. And Mar, little gamesmanship here going on. Mar stands right on the stripe where the ball is to be placed for the penalty kick, and Mar just stands there. And Colton comes up and has a couple words for him. Referee gets in the middle. Mar, of course, the hero the other night, stopped 2 PKs against Johns Hopkins in the penalty kick shootout. So we're going to find out right now if F&M was scouting. I don't remember. I know the first save was to the right. I don't remember if the second save was to the right as well. But this will be Colton. This is a live ball if it's saved. So Colton lines up straight ahead. Here we go. Whistle blows. Twitch of the hips. Colton. Oh, he goes straight down the middle. And it's home. And F&M leads 1-0. Mar went to his right again, which I believe is the way he stopped both shots the other night. But Colton put it with some pace right down the middle, and F&M draws first blood. It's 1-0 Diplomats. So at the 65:03 mark, we've got our first goal of the 2017 Centennial Conference Championship game. That's Zach Colton. Zach Colton. His 3rd goal of the year, senior defender from Tabernacle, New Jersey. I don't know how many goals he scored in his career or if that's the biggest one, but it's the biggest one right now for sure. As he beats Margo, drills one straight down the middle. And F&M grabs the lead. So the ball played dangerously back. Dickinson makes a hard charge here right off the whistle after the penalty kick. But Amoroso's able to grab it. Little contact with Dickinson forward. Plays it forward. F&M is able to play it back the other way. Ryan Horan, freshman defender from Norwell, Massachusetts, gets it down the line and sends it out over the end line off of the Dickinson defender. So now we'll have a corner kick. So F&M just scored. Colton with a penalty kick. And now they've got a corner kick. And this is Ryan Fincher who will play it in. Only one guy really in the box right now. F&M making its run. Fincher sends it to the far post. Nobody home. Dickinson able to clear, but not entirely. Fabian with possession, taking on Edmonds. Edmonds able to almost get it out, but not entirely, and now Gilbert clears. Dickinson going the other way. So Dickinson with possession. Challenging. Edmonds leaps over an F&M defender, sweeps the ball out of bounds. And Dickinson will have a throw in. This is Vandewater, junior forward from Warrenton, Virginia, who will throw this in. And Warrenton can get it to the box from here for sure. And he does. F&M clears. That's Brock getting a foot on it. Sends it into the box on a half volley. And F&M, it goes out off an F&M header over the goal. Wasn't really a dangerous opportunity, but it does draw a corner kick. And this will be Edmonds. It'll walk over to the far side. The left foot. He'll use the left, I believe, to swing it in. Nope, he's going to put it on the other side this time. So Dickinson now more. They've got 9 guys inside, 8 guys inside the box area, including Brock, who's just kind of at the top. But F&M, it's a low-driven ball on the corner, and F&M is able to clear. Now Tonelli gets it out. F&M trying to get its defense up. Sumner tries to send it forward, but kind of mishits it off to the side, and F&M is able to clear. Dickinson will have a throw-in, but F&M avoids the danger of the corner. This is Brock, freshman defender from Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, not far from Carlisle. Dickinson College, located in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Franklin and Marshall, located in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Centennial Conference offices located on the F&M campus. Both are about, F&M's maybe about a 75-minute drive from Johns Hopkins. Dickinson probably about a 90-minute drive. Both arrived this morning. Both were here Friday night for the semifinals. Both teams get a day off in between the finals this year and the semifinals because Johns Hopkins hosting 4 Centennial Conference championships here on the Homewood campus. So here's F&M in transition, unable to control is Ryan Horan, but the ball goes out over the end line again off of Dickinson. And F&M will have another corner kick here. This will be Ryan Fincher again. Fincher had the free kick that Marr punched off the crossbar a few minutes ago. Let's see if he can do more damage here. F&M's going to send their runners in. This is a lower-driven ball. It gets through the goal. Gets through the goal mouth and no one there. Dickinson pokes it out over the end line. But that ball skipped right through. F&M had its runners start at the top of the box, sent them, and they all stopped. So Dickinson had it defended, but didn't control it, pushed it out over the end line. Not that far from the post. And F&M will go to the other side of the field here and take a corner. This will be Fincher as well. He'll take it from the far side this time, not the near side. Puts this one a little bit further up in the air. F&M gets ahead on that, chasing it down, trying to keep it in bounds. Yeah, it was definitely off of F&M. Ryan Core could have kept it in, tried to play like it had gone off of Dickinson, but the referee was onto that trick. He was onto that one, and it'll be a Dickinson throw-in. F&M making them work to get the ball out, but they do. So Dickinson and F&M again here, now in the 71st minute. F&M's forwards really doing a nice job of making Dickinson work to get the ball up and actually eventually force a turnover. And F&M has got a guy that goes down as they're battling. I'm not sure, that's not Tonelli. That's Sherban, who went down in the middle of the field. Things getting physical here. Sumner able to clear it away from danger after F&M's JT Mogan had made a run. We got some fighting here. That's going to be a foul against F&M's Ryan Horan. Horan was battling for position as the ball was going out of bounds, and Horan just kind of gave his defender the business as he was walking back up the field. The referee would have none of that, and he's going to book him. So Horan draws a penalty, draws a yellow for F&M here in the 72nd minute. That's 4 yellows here in today's championship game. 3 to Dickinson, 2 in the first half, 1 early in the second half. Colton got a PK. There was no yellow issued on that. It was just a foul in the box. So Colton stepped in, drilled the penalty kick. That was at 65:03 mark. And then Horan now for F&M gets the Diplomats' first yellow card of today's championship game. So Gilbert off of the free kick, heads it forward. But Dickinson is able, F&M is able to control, and here comes Tonelli trying to take on a defender, and he's got space. Now he's under pressure. He's got a runner. It's Horan. Nope, they leave Tonelli. Probably not a good idea there. And Tonelli draws it back inside. He possessed that ball for nearly 40 yards with defenders close to him, but none really challenging him. He drew it back once he got to the end line, but nobody was really there, and Dickinson was able to sweep it away and out of danger. Tonelli, not the guy you want to give that much space to. Remember, he comes into today's game with 11 goals, 22 points on the year. Not saying he can't pass the ball, but he's a goal scorer, and you got to make sure you account for him. Of course, 2 of those 11 came in the 2-1 win against Dickinson earlier this year. That was late September. And here comes Tonelli again. He's got space. He could let one go from here, and he does. And it goes right in on Marr, who goes down low to cover it. So Tonelli didn't really strike that one well, and it went right at Marr. Was bouncing a little bit, so a little tricky there on the wet surface, but really no rebound, no danger, no goal. And we go the other way. And now Dickinson possessing. Brock playing it forward. And this is Ryan Brown for Dickinson. Brown crosses the ball. It's headed. Oh, that was a golden opportunity for Dickinson. Ryan Brown crossed the ball to the right of Amoroso. Got just enough freedom here to send a right-footed cross that Gilbert sent high, ticketed for upper 90, but Amoroso punched it away, and that was a great opportunity. Great cross by Ryan Brown, who found Gilbert in the box. Now we've got a corner for Dickinson. High and far. Gilbert gets ahead on it, but can't control it. And now we're going back the other way for F&M, and Tonelli doesn't have anybody with him in front, but drifts it off to the far side. And now F&M's actually got numbers here. F&M's got numbers. So this is Martinez, who could tee it up. He doesn't. Whew. That was a dangerous play right there. Martinez drew it out to the outside to Sherban. Sherban dribbled in. A defender came sliding over. The ball never got through to Marr, but it was definitely a dangerous spot. So now things opened up a little bit now. We're in the 75th minute, 1-0 Franklin and Marshall. It was a Colton penalty kick in the 66th minute, the 65:03 mark, that gave F&M its 1-0 lead. This will be Fincher again on the corner. Right-footed in-swinger. Marr punches it away, and it's sent back in by F&M. That was Martinez who gave it a ride back into the box, but not anywhere dangerous, and Dickinson is able to clear. So we're going to have a foul here in the middle of the field as F&M's Ryan Core and Dickinson's Ward Vandewater come together dead center of the field here. Not really in a dangerous position, but both players went down and the official gave advantage to Dickinson, and Dickinson will have the free kick. This will be Austin Thames taking it just at the 40-yard line, so 50 yards from the goal. Thames lifts one, floats it into the box, but Amoroso comes out right off his line. Amoroso charged that. There was like a parting of the Red Sea right there in the middle. No pun intended there, as Dickinson dressed in all red today, but he was able to come out and cleanly field that one under no pressure at all. 76th minute here of the 2017 Centennial Conference Men's Soccer Championship game. Franklin and Marshall and Dickinson. And we've got Martinez going the other way. He plays a through ball up on the wing. Dickinson is able to clear it. F&M will have a throw-in on the far side, about 25 yards from the end line. That looked more dangerous than it ended up being. Martinez really could have probably drawn a defender to himself, but he played it wide, and they'll have a throw-in. So Dickinson, fresh legs now on the field. Mohamed Karuma in for the Red Devils. Karuma, sophomore forward from New Haven, Connecticut. And Connor Whitaker returns for Franklin and Marshall, himself also a sophomore midfielder. He from Lancaster County, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Whitaker went to Conestoga Valley high school up there, not far from the Franklin and Marshall campus in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So we're in the 77th minute. F&M with another corner kick, and this will be Fincher again. Fincher's their man. He's right-footed. Try and draw it in and create some havoc there in the box. And it kind of bounces harmlessly. A little contact there in the box. The F&M fans, of course, want to call. Nothing they'd like more than to see another penalty kick. The referee was having none of it. And now, all of a sudden, dangerous play. Going the other way quickly in transition, and Dickinson's Will Bracken fighting through a defender. Amoroso comes out to clear out the ball. That was dangerous going in the other direction and quickly. Sumner heads it back to Marr. Who transitions back Dickinson with a throw up the field to the far side. That was Brock. Brock now plays it back. Sumner with it in the middle of the field. Over to the near side, he's got Thames. Thames in the middle. Vandewater. Over to Pollock. Pollock drives it in. Dickinson, F&M is able to clear. That's Edmonds. He draws it back to Brock. And Brock sends some nice balls into the box as he does here. There's a header. Brock, just as I said it, Brock drives a ball, finds Gilbert right at the top of the box, and Gilbert heads it in. It really was probably a little too far out. Couldn't get a lot of pace on that. Amoroso easily swallowed that one up, and here you see it again, and Gilbert heads it really right at Amoroso. Amoroso goes down, but it really was not a dangerous opportunity there. A little too far out. Now we've got a collision at midfield between Horan and Kuruma. And they give the penalty, give the foul to F&M. But Dickinson turns it over, and now we're going back the other way. 79th minute here. Starting to get late here. 2017 Centennial Conference Men's Soccer Championship on Hop TV, part of the Centennial Conference Digital Network. We hope you're enjoying this one. As we guessed early on, this was bound to be a one-goal game. 9 straight Centennial Conference Men's Soccer Championship games have been decided by 1 goal or in penalty kicks. So you knew when you signed on today this was coming down to the wire. And we've got just under 11 minutes to go. Oh, and there's a great chance. A great chance. Was that Fincher? That was Fincher. Fincher got inside a defender on the far side and sent a rocket low to the far post. It skipped off a Dickinson defender. If it would have been inside the post, Marr would not have been able to get to it. But it went just wide, and now Fincher will have another corner kick. He'll take it from the near side this time. Again, Fincher, a junior midfielder, has taken every corner kick. He's from Westchester, Pennsylvania for the Diplomats. He tries this one. This one's a little further. And F&M got a foot on it, but it went out across the face of the goal and out on the far side. So F&M's Connor Whitaker was able to come through from the far side, get a foot on it, but it went out of bounds to Marr's left over the goal line, and Marr puts it back into play with a goal kick. So this will be a throw-in. Is not going to be a goal kick for F&M. F&M's going to have to throw its way out of trouble here. Looked like it was going to skip on this side of the flag, but it just curled to the right, and now F&M's going to have to try and work its way out with a throw. But they don't. They turn it over. Nope. Oh, and we're going to have a penalty. We're going to have a foul here against Dickinson. There was a collision there. It looks like it might be Gilbert. We got 2 guys down on the floor, down on the ground. Martinez for F&M gets up limping. And it was actually Vandewater, not Gilbert. 8 and 6. Gilbert is 6. Vandewater is 8. Both tall forwards there up front. 6'3" and 6'1", both active. And the numbers on the front of the Dickinson jersey are a white kind of outline number on a red jersey, but it's inside a white stripe, so it's really hard to read the front of the jersey, especially on the far side of the field. But Dickinson maintains possession here at midfield, and they'll try and build again. They work it over to the far side to Brock at midfield again. Brock's really done a nice job drawing the ball into the box and creating opportunities, looking for those tall forwards, Vandewater and Gilbert. Last one was headed, didn't have a lot of pace on it, and Amoroso was able to grab it. But he had played this one square. They tried to play it through to Gilbert. He was not able to control. So F&M will sub out here. Alex Lavalik will check in. Jason Tonelli will check out. And Tonelli, while he didn't put one home, certainly worked hard today. He obviously can return. You can sub back in once in the second half in college soccer. This is not international rules. Tonelli catching a breath, and maybe we'll see him again, but now we've got fresh legs up front for F&M, and you know there's going to be times where they just want you to dribble to the corner. We're now in the 83rd minute, 82-31 on a ticking clock. Brock tries to send it through for Dickinson, but can't. F&M controls, boots it out of bounds, so we'll have a throw in. Again, we've got a couple guys here for Dickinson that can really reach the, they said it was off Dickinson. So it'll be an F&M throw in. And now we're going to have and they're going to book number 7. That's Bracken. I'm not sure exactly what that was for. I thought it was off F&M, and maybe Bracken did too, and maybe he told the official what he thought. But nonetheless, it's a yellow card for Bracken. It's a throw-in for F&M. The clock is now moving, and we are in the 84th minute, 83:05 on a turning clock here at Homewood Field. You're watching the 2017 Centennial Conference Men's Soccer Championship game on Hop TV, part of the Centennial Conference Digital Network. Hope you're enjoying this. It's a 1-0 F&M lead. F&M scored on a penalty kick. F&M looking to win its second title at Homewood Field today as the Diplomat field hockey team topped Johns Hopkins 2-1 earlier today. Diplomat field hockey on its way to the NCAA championships. That bracket announced later tonight. Hopkins still possible to get an at-large bid. That's a smaller bracket, not as many at-large bids available in field hockey. But the Blue Jays will certainly tune in. Head coach Dane Wells did a great job, but it was F&M that walked away with the title, the second in school history for the Diplomats. Oh, and Dickinson's got a guy down. Finch tried to clear the ball, and Maxon Pritchard took one right off the underside of the chin. Really caught him flush, and he went straight down, right in front of the scores table there. So we certainly hope that he's okay. That's one where you can't even, it's soccer. You don't want to get your hands up and defend yourself because it's not part of the game to use your hands. But that was one case where he couldn't, even if he wanted to. He was so close to him that he took it right off the underside of the chin and sent him down. Looks like he's going to be okay. He's able to walk off under his own power. Trainers come out to help him out, and we certainly hope he's okay. Replacing him is Taylor Anon, freshman midfielder from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Lancaster Country Day High School up there.
On to the Red Devils, number 15, Taylor Anon.
So we're at the 83:57 mark. F&M will boot it back. Sportsmanship there. The way to go, of course. Player gets hurt. Rules of soccer. Unofficial rules, of course, but nonetheless, the gentlemanly thing to do, and they boot it back, and Marr and Dickinson work their way up the field. So battle for possession on the far side, and it's out off Dickinson. And then F&M will have another throw in and work their way up. But Dickinson possesses. Dickinson works it square. Now here up by midfield. Karuma, excuse me. It's booted in. Amoroso comes out, slides down, and now you know that they're just going to start, it's going to take him a little longer to make sure he gets the ball into play. Actually, he boots this one out relatively quickly. Official was back there, and I'm sure he reminded him that, he's supposed to keep that ball in play within a certain amount of time, get the ball in play in a certain amount of time, and that was actually pretty quick for Amoroso to get that one up and out. So we've got some tugging and driving here on the far side. Cross there for Dickinson, swept away. Two guys come together there. And he's pointing in a lot of directions, our Mr. Official is there. Looks like it's going to be an F&M free kick. And it will. It looks like Fabian's going to walk back to drive this one. And Fabian's a big kid. 6 foot 186, but he looks bigger. He looks strong. He drives that one up near midfield, bounces away. And now here's Fincher, and he plays a nice ball through all the way to the far side. It's Draheim. Draheim gets to the middle. It's swept away by Dickinson, but Fincher is able to control, and he's just going to lag some time now. Working his way through the defense, but eventually turns the ball over. Martinez comes in, he sweeps it back, and Dickinson's going to have to work its way out with a throw. Dickinson is not going to be able to kick it out. Drifted towards the end line, but it's going to be a throw. 3.5 minutes left here in regulation of the 2017 Centennial Conference Men's Soccer Championship game. And we've got F&M winning on a penalty kick. Right now, 1-0. It was Zach Colton, senior defender, who buried it in the 66th minute. And that's the only time we've found the back of the net here today. Martinez gets taken down, and that's going to be a yellow for Vandewater. And that's the 5th yellow of the day here for Dickinson. That one at 86:57. That's 5 yellows for Dickinson, 1 for F&M. But the only numbers that really count right now are the ones on the scoreboard, and right now we've got F&M leading 1-0. Shots are 13-4 Dickinson, 13-11 Dickinson. Colton's penalty kick is really the only thing separating these two teams right now. F&M will put it back into play from near midfield, and as you guessed, 9 straight Centennial Conference Men's Soccer Championship games have been 1-goal affairs, and it looks like this one's heading for the same result. 1-0 F&M, 87th minute. F&M will maintain possession. Lalovic able to draw a throw in there deep in on the Dickinson end of the field. Tonelli back in for F&M now, and you know that they're just going to try and use him. He got some 5-7 minutes of break. Got a little bit of a break, and they're going to use him to just kill some clock back there in the corner.
Now into the Diplomats, number 9, Jason Tonelli.
And that clock's just ticking away. We're now under 3 minutes. Under 3 minutes remaining, and Tonelli goes down. I didn't see what happened there. I'd look back at the clock. The clock is now stopped, 87:22. Sumner heads it away. Vandewater gets it up the field, but F&M is able to head it back. No possession. Fincher sends it through just out of the reach of Tonelli. Tonelli not able to chase it down on the wing. So Dickinson's going to send it over to Brock. Brock is going to try and drive this one forward. I tell you what, the one thing I've noticed, a lot of these subs that have come in have been freshmen. These are two teams that, yeah, they have some veterans, but these two teams are going to be around for a while. F&M, of course, making its 9th straight championship tournament appearance. Dickinson making its 7th. And, I don't think anybody would be surprised if we were sitting at this tournament again next year and these two teams were back in play again. These coaches have done a great job through the years. This isn't a one-hit wonder. Dan Wagner, of course, has been at F&M. And he's brought the Diplomats to this championship game now 4 times, 5th time in school history. And Brian Redding has brought the Red Devils. This is their 5th championship game appearance since 2009. So you talk about the gold standard. I know Haverford won the last 2 titles, but over the long haul, you know, last decade, these are the 2 of the most successful teams in the league. And now F&M just trying to kill the clock and get the ball out. And there's another one played long. And now they'll just try and dribble it to the corner. And there goes Tonelli, and now Tonelli's fresh, and you know that's what they wanted. They took him out, gave him a little break, and now we're under a minute to play. And the F&M fans can sense it, and so can the bench. This will be a throw-in for F&M, but they're in no rush. That clock's under 45 seconds now until another championship and NCAA tournament appearance for F&M. This will be Fincher, and now the official stops the clock. Looks like he wants 89:20 put back on the clock. We're at 89:25. I think he wants it to be, 89:20. A little confused here. We do have a bench official here. When you get to the playoffs at this level, they do start to have a bench, table official. So he's communicating with an actual official and not a game operations student assistant. We want to thank all of our students who have been here all weekend with us. This has been quite a weekend at Hopkins, hosting the Centennial Conference volleyball, field hockey, men's soccer, and women's soccer championship games, and a home football game yesterday. So 13 games on the Homewood campus, every one of them available on Hop TV, 12 Centennial Conference championship games, also championship events, semifinals and finals. And now the clock's ticking away, and it's going to be hard for the Red Devils here. We got a corner here for F&M. We're under 20 seconds to go until F&M is going to win its 2nd Centennial Conference men's soccer championship. 2nd under Dan Wagner, both coming at the expense of Dickinson. Both one-goal affairs, a 2-1 victory in 2013. And now a 1-0 victory in 2017. And there they go, the Diplomats storm Homewood Field. Your 2017 Centennial Conference champions in men's soccer, Franklin and Marshall. Head coach Dan Wagner claims his 2nd title as the Diplomat head coach. Diplomats making their 5th championship game appearance here. Both titles have come at the expense of Dickinson, both one-goal affairs. A 2-1 victory in 2013 and now a 1-0 victory here in 2017. And what a run it was for Dickinson. Let's not... you want to praise the victors, and they earned the victory today. They will advance to the NCAA tournament, but of course Dickinson made a great run here this week. The Red Devils went on. The Red Devils were the number 5 seed in this tournament. The Red Devils were the number 5 seed in this tournament, went on the road, won 5-0 at Haverford in the first round. Stunning the 2-time defending champions with a 5-0 victory on Tuesday, then top-seeded Johns Hopkins. Actually, officially a tie, 2-2, but the Devils advanced to today with a 4-2 penalty kick verdict. And then they fall today, and really the only goal they gave up was a penalty kick. They didn't give up a goal in regulation here today. F&M, of course, didn't either. But F&M and Dickinson played to a 1-goal game in September, played to a 1-goal game here today at Homewood Field. And it's Franklin and Marshall that walks away as the 2017 Centennial Conference men's soccer champions. Unofficial stats here. Dickinson outshoots the F&M 13-11. The saves, Amorosa had 7 for F&M, and a couple of them were real strong ones. He had a couple of times he was really tested and came up big. And then Mara on the other end had 4 saves for Dickinson, and he had one great save as well early in the first half, or in the first half, where there was a shot, I believe it was Fincher, that ticketed one for the near post, and he punched it aside, and at that point kept the game scoreless. So 1-0 your final. F&M claims its 2nd Centennial Conference championship in program history, both at the expense of Dickinson, 2-1 in 2013, and then 1-0 here today on a Zach Colton penalty kick in the 66th minute. And you see the teams there shaking hands, retreating to their own benches, and we'll have the trophy presentation here now. We're going to keep it right here for the trophy presentation. Centennial Conference Commissioner Steve Ulrich, busy man handing out trophies today. I'm going to turn it over to the PA announcer for this part of the presentation.
First, let's have a round of applause for the two teams that provided us with a terrific championship match. At this time, we would like to recognize the Centennial Conference runner-ups from Dickinson College. Congratulations to head coach Brian Redding and the rest of the Red Devils on a fine season. Let's have a round of applause for Dickinson. Next, I am pleased to announce the 2017 Centennial Conference Men's Soccer Championship Most Valuable Player. From Franklin and Marshall, Christopher Amoruso. And now, we introduce to you the Centennial Conference champions from Franklin and Marshall College. Congratulations to head coach Dan Wagner and the rest of the Diplomats on an outstanding season that will continue in the NCAA tournament as the conference's automatic qualifier. We would like to ask the captains and members of the senior class to please come forward and accept the championship trophy.
So there you have it, your 2017 Centennial Conference champion men's soccer, Franklin and Marshall, claims the victory, 1-0 over Dickinson College. A Zach Colton penalty kick in the 66th minute was all the scoring we would have here today. We knew it would be a tight game. We knew it would probably be a one-goal game. 10 straight Centennial Conference men's soccer championship games now have been decided by 1 goal, 9 by a goal, 1 in penalty kicks actually. F&M the victor in 2 of those. Defeated Dickinson 2-1 in 2013, and now defeats the Red Devils 1-0 here at Homewood Field for the 2017 Centennial Conference Championship. So we are 3/4 of the way done here at Homewood Field today. That was the third 3/4 of the way done here at Johns Hopkins. That was the third Centennial Conference Championship to be decided here today. Earlier today on Homewood Field, it was also Franklin and Marshall claiming a title as the Diplomat field hockey team topped Johns Hopkins 2-1. Diplomats scored twice early. Hopkins got one just before the half to make it tight, and then the Diplomats were able to hold off the Blue Jays for a 2-1 victory. Of course, we just had the F&M men's soccer claimed the Centennial Conference title with a 1-0 victory over Dickinson. And earlier, or not very much earlier, but not long ago, the Johns Hopkins volleyball team claimed its 2nd straight and 5th overall Centennial Conference title as the Blue Jays defeated Swarthmore 3-1. Head coach Tim Cole and the Blue Jays will head to the NCAA tournament again. That bracket announced tomorrow. Men's soccer bracket announced tomorrow afternoon. So again, we want to thank you for tuning in to Hop TV and the Centennial Conference Digital Network for the 2017 Centennial Conference Men's Soccer Championship. We are